I've got a new story to read today, and my job is to try and figure out what the main idea is. So I'm going to use part of the pride strategy that we've been learning about, and up here in the corner I'm actually going to write P, R, and I to help me remember what I'm going to do. So my first job here is to find the topic of my article, and when I'm looking at it, there aren't a whole lot of text features. I have a title here. I also have some bold words at the very top and also at the bottom, but not a lot more than that. So I'm going to look at the title and see what I can figure out. It says the importance of evaluating information from the internet. And then I have the bold word search query and accurate down at the bottom. So I'm going to say that from looking at the title, it looks like it's going to be about the internet and looking at information. And then the word search query I know has to do with the internet as well. And accurate seems to match up with the word evaluate information in the title. So from my text features, I'm inferring that the topic of my article is going to be evaluating information. And so I'm going to go ahead and write that down so I don't forget it. My topic is evaluating, and I'm going to put eval for short. Evaluating information. And these are my two shortcuts. Eval info means evaluating information. Okay, so for the R step, that's when I'm going to read and annotate. And so that means I'm going to mark up my page while I go. So let's get reading, and as I read, you know what, I might make a note here that I want to focus on the topic. So I'm going to remember as I read everything about the topic is what I want to mark. Okay, the importance of evaluating information from the internet. Yes, the internet seems to be a key word here. It's going to be all about the internet. So it's how to evaluate on the internet. Okay. Here's the story. Last fall, my bike brakes started to get squeaky. I wanted to figure out how to fix them on my own, so I decided to get on Google and look it up. Oh yeah, Google. Do you guys like Google? I know I love Google. It's where I always look to find information. So I'm going to write find info right beside Google. I typed in a search query. Now I'm actually going to time out there and just write a little note here, a question mark, because I'm not sure what a search query is. But maybe it'll help me if I read a little farther. I typed in a search query. How do you fix squeaky bike brakes? There was a ton of information that showed up. I love looking things up on the internet. You know what? Let me take a little break here. I have a feeling that the word search query probably means, you know, like that box where you type things in on Google. I'm actually going to draw a picture here. So on Google's homepage, it says Google, and then there's a box underneath where you type something in. That's what the search query is, whatever you type in that box. So I've got that word figured out. Okay, time out. My topic here is evaluating information. So I don't think I found anything yet about evaluating information, but I'm going to keep reading. The first search result said, I fix everything with duct tape. Of course, I knew that using duct tape on my bike brakes was not going to take care of a squeak. Now, I'm going to put a little note here that I think the author was inferring a little bit. They were using their background knowledge to tell them that this was bad information because they knew that duct tape won't take care of a bike brake. The second search result said, use WD-40 oil. Spray some on the brakes and the squeak will be gone. That seemed to make sense to me. I already have used oil to help my car door stop squeaking. That must be it. Interesting. So again, here the author is evaluating information by using background knowledge. And we know that's a key part of making inferences. So it's kind of cool to read that the author was using their background knowledge for this. The third search result said, never use oil. Oh my goodness. So the second and the third search results are disagreeing with each other. I'm actually making a note here that says disagree because the one note says use oil and the other one says don't. Oil prevents your brakes from being able to stop the bike. Oil makes the brake pad slip across the tires instead of stopping them. Normally, a bike brake gets squeaky when there is dirt on the brake pad. The first thing to do is try wiping off the brake pads to clean them. Usually that takes care of the problem. Wow, I am so glad that I read the third search result. I know that I would have ended up doing the wrong thing if I had stopped reading after the second idea. Wow, okay, so timing out here. This is very interesting. The author said that to evaluate their information, they had to keep reading. So it looks like on the internet you need to keep reading more than one or two ideas, because sometimes even the first couple ideas can be wrong or bad. It is important to read a lot of information before deciding what is the best answer to a question on the internet. Oh wow, that seems like a huge key idea for my topic here. It's important to read a lot of information before deciding what is the best answer to a question on the internet. You've got to be careful. The best way to verify your information is accurate is to read many search results. Yeah, definitely. I would say even this whole paragraph is really a key idea for the topic of my article. So really the bottom is the most important part here. Okay, so now I'm ready to go on. I've read, I've annotated. Now I want to identify the main idea. And to do that, my first thing I want to do is think to myself, okay, what are the details I found that relate to the topic? And I think I just said that this bottom paragraph really seems to do the best job of talking about the topic. So I'm going to write down what I think the main idea is. If I look, I see things about using Google and the internet, about inferring, using background knowledge, but also to keep reading more than one or two ideas on the internet. So I'm just going to put this in the middle of the page so we can all see it better. I would say the main idea is to read lots of information on the internet. And I'm going to have to keep moving here to make enough room. On the internet before making a decision. On how to fix something. All right, so there we go. The main idea is to read lots of information on the internet before making a decision on how to fix something. That's my main idea.